Robinson. They call me Jay.
This is Michael Jeffrey. They call me Mike Jeff.
This is Logan Barnes, and they call me Pounds.
This is Vince Smith, and they call me Vinny.
And this is The Last Dab.
Quick with it that time.
Quick.
How's everyone doing? Episode 54.
54.
Oh, 54. Doing good, doing good.
What's your name, Dylan?
Well,
I'm just kidding. Shut up. No one wants to hear you. We got someone special here. Let's just go ahead and go straight into that.
Sorry, Dylan.
Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Derik Fulton. Some people know me as Not a Shaman. I have my own podcast. I'm only a few episodes deep, but I've done some other people's podcasts, and I love conversation, especially when we're passing around marijuana.
Yeah.
Nothing better. Matter of fact, let me get this in the rotation.
Well, Derik, it's nice to have you on, man. We've been excited to hear from you, to talk from you, and just like not too long ago, you are one of Vince's pals from work.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken, right?
Well, honestly, I mean, we've had a little small talk, I think, in the past when I used to work in the same department as him, and I remember seeing him like on the weekends occasionally because I used to work a lot of voluntary overtime back in body shop days.
Making.
So you worked directly with him for a little bit?
No, we never really directly work together, actually.
But
honestly,
hey,
that's we just kind of been like.
that's the thing. Like minds always come together at some point.
Yeah,
you guys saw each other walking one day or something, and you guys were meant to meet. You know,
it's strange because like I think we know each other through like mutual friends through Facebook and
small world, right?
Yeah,
World.
we share similar,
Interests.
similar interests,
That bitch
similar
running?
likes, and
oh, she taking off. She taking a lap.
She's taking a
big
lap, dude.
Well, hell yeah, man. For everybody that didn't hear him the first time, it's I'm not a shaman.
not a shaman.
Okay.
It's just a little bit of a nickname that someone gave me.
No, I like it. I like it.
Explain to me exactly
what that means.
Yeah.
Because I think we all know what a shaman is, but I might need my memory fucking updated. And how do you use it?
There's a lot of people that don't too. So
Well, it started out with I had some really life-changing psychedelic experiences that changed me at the core of who I am.
right.
And this is probably about 5 years ago now. I did mushrooms for the first time, and it was a smaller dose, wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
I remember sitting in front of a mirror on my floor and just staring at myself.
That shit you get locked in, bro.
Yeah.
I remember thinking like
Mirrors can be.
Yeah.
I remember thinking like a lot of the insecurities I had were like bullshit.
So you kind of had like an ego death or whatever they call it.
Not the first go around.
Okay.
But it was actually a good time for
Very
the most part.
introspective.
Very introspective. Like some of my insecurities about how I look, how I perceive myself, I was like, they're nonsense. Like it doesn't. None of that shit really matters. And I used to be very insecure, and it was nice. And I always kind of, from that experience, I kind of associated mushrooms with marijuana because you smoke marijuana, you're in a better mood.
Yep.
You know? It enhances you.
When you're tripping, dude, one hit and your visuals get more enhanced. The feelings, man, they're a great combination.
Oh, yeah. And, I assumed, like, you smoke pot, you never are in a worse mood when you smoke pot. I mean, that doesn't happen. And one night I was supposed to go to a campfire with some of my family.
Good old campfire.
And I thought, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just take a bunch of shrooms. I didn't.
Oh. With your family?
No, just me.
Oh, okay.
And I I ate about 6 grams of.
Damn.
So no concern going in at all. Just
Yeah, I just assumed it's just
wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it.
But I didn't know what I was getting into.
You weren't fully experienced
No.
with dosage and shit.
Oh, no.
You were about to drop a strain name, weren't you, of the mushrooms?
Yeah,
Kind
it
of
was
look like
albino
penis envy
Yeah.
apes. I just had some.
my God.
They're
They're like 2 times as strong as just regular mushrooms,
so
bro.
6 grams is a.
Like damn near 10 to 12.
Yeah.
You're on a whole new adventure
and
on
this
that.
is on
bro.
my second psychedelic experience, and I even got into psychedelics because of listening to Joe Rogan talk about them.
Really?
And my life beforehand is I was very religious. I grew up in a fundamental Baptist church. I had a very closed mind. I was very hateful. I had a lot of inner turmoil going on, and I took those shrooms, and then me and my significant other at the time got into a really bad fight while they were kicking in.
That can either make or break a trip, dude.
Yeah, emotions are a big thing with shrooms, especially.
I think it's 100% the most important thing.
LSD and other psychedelics, I feel like aren't as
More
strong
visual.
on the emotional side. Shrooms is big with emotions.
Yeah, it's very. It can be very powerfully spiritual, like, intense. And I remember we were driving to pick up a friend, and I remember like the front of the Jeep that she drives, just like being able to see through it and being able to see the ground.
Shit.
And the world's morphing around me, and I mean, I'm just. This is the first time I've never even imagined this was a possibility.
Yeah.
And so I'm freaking out like a little bit in the beginning. I was a little panicky, and I was like, you know what? I'm panicking a little too much. Maybe I should just go home, drop me off. And I went home alone, went up into my bedroom.
But that was probably the best thing for you.
No.
No? Oh, no.
That's like the opposite.
Yeah. Well, I thought like you were leaving that situation, and now you're like, okay. And then it was worse.
It was worse because I have to throw back to I was very religious, and I had this fear of dying and going to hell in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
And I had an ego death, and I ceased to exist. It was like I had no memories of the past. I didn't know what I did for a living. I couldn't remember the name of my only child or anything about him.
Damn.
I mean, it wiped me clean. I was fucking terrified during it. And I mean, I was an emotional wreck.
And it came back.
Yeah. As I came down, like I was still in just a freaked out state, but it kind of showed me how much of an asshole I was at the time, and it showed me like how I hurt other people and just couldn't really see it. Like
your barrier wasn't allowing you to see that. Your ego, your pride.
It was my ego, and it allowed me to step outside my ego, and it allowed me to like kind of just look at myself from an objective outside perspective without any of my biases to kind of like hold it together.
Kind of like a random person.
yeah.
Seeing who this guy is.
Yeah. And I didn't like what I saw, for sure. And after this trip, for like several months, I went through like a deep wave of depression because I felt like I had to completely reset as a human being. Like, all my belief systems, everything I thought about life and who I was, I had to start over. I had to rebuild myself into a new human being. And it was like that person legitimately died. And that was just from my second psychedelic experience. So
What age is this at, if you don't mind me asking?
It was about 4 years ago, and I'm 30, almost 31.
So 26.
26, 27.
And again, if you don't mind me asking, you said you didn't really experiment with any type of drug until when? Like even marijuana. When did you get exposed to just
marijuana?
Smoking and...
Yeah, when I got out of the Marine Corps, I was in the Marine Corps after high school, and I was very religious most of my life, and I was very anti-drugs, very closed-minded. I was the very typical fundamentalist, closed-minded religious person, and I had a friend that I'd had throughout high school that I went over to his house and people were smoking pot. And this is the first time I'd ever even seen pot, like really in person. And they handed it to me, and I was like, I just went through the Marine Corps and like, fuck it. Why
You
not?
said, what can I fucking handle, bro? What?
And I just remember the first time I smoked pot, how mind expanding it was for me.
man.
Because just being that person that I was, and I just remember my consciousness just kind of like, I was just
Like, bro, there's more to this.
Yeah, like I've been lied to.
Yeah.
I remember.
That's a
It was like
great way of putting
page
that.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a good way of putting that. You've been lied to. You know?
Well, and back to the psychedelic experience, I about maybe a year. It took me a long time, maybe a year or so, before I even like fathomed trying to do them again. And I was pretty scared, honestly. I was pretty scared to even dip my toes back.
You were
in the
like,
water.
what am I going to get into?
And I had a little bit of a smaller dose experience, and it was great. It was fantastic.
What are we talking smaller?
Like
1 to 2?
2 to 3 grams.
2 to 3, okay.
And it was great time. And I finally felt like, you know, I can use this for like positive healing now.
Yeah.
And so like the next time I did like a 4.5 gram dose out in nature, and it was beautiful. It was a very life-changing experience. It allowed me to like kind of let more shit go, and it kind of allowed me to kind of figure out how to be my inner self outwardly.
Yeah.
Like,
Not hide it.
Yeah, not hide it, just be, and not be so hard on myself. And that was something I was really bad about, just being extremely hard on myself.
It's a huge thing for a lot of people. Like, you got to think about how you were raised. I can see already. I mean, you said you were in that, you know, you had that classic religious, they're going to tell you that you're wrong and God thinks you're wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like all these external factors. It's like, wait a minute, who even am I? And do I think it's wrong?
Yeah.
Because if I'm doing what I'm doing and I love it, why does it matter if someone thinks it's wrong?
And it took me a long time to let go of a lot of the dogma that I was attached to it, just because I had been essentially brainwashed as a child to be afraid of going to hell. And that's, in a lot of ways, I find that to be child abuse, like looking back at it.
Yeah. It's kind of like a immature way to try to live some type of style. Like, oh, if you don't do this, you're just going to die and burn forever. Like, whoa, okay. I guess that person loves me. It's like a blackmail thing. You know what I mean? Like, you got to do all these things strictly and correctly. And I know Baptist is, you know, it has a lot more rules, and it's a little more stricter and set with the Bible's things that, you know, obviously are right and wrong.
Yeah.
And, you know, I can definitely imagine what type of like change that was for you. Did you feel like you were kind of doing something, not while you were doing the psilocybin, but afterwards, did you have this type of regret / shame? Like, look what have I just done?
I mean, maybe initially
Mm-hmm.
when I went through that depression phase, but then as I started to rebuild my identity and I recognized that it was a good thing that I went through that, that I was like, how can it be a negative thing if I was able to like fix a lot of my problems with this?
That's
like,
a good point.
I mean, how could God, I mean, if there's a God and he created everything, he created those.
Yeah. With a purpose.
With a purpose.
He didn't just say, oh, whoops, sorry, it fucks you up if you eat it.
Yeah, no. I mean, what kind of drug gives you a spiritual enlightenment? Like, I mean, is that a drug? I mean,
I wouldn't even count that as a drug. If anything, that's a tool.
Yeah, exactly. And it's it's something that you can approach with a mindset of like, you just want to have a good time, you're partying, and it becomes one thing. But if you approach it with intent of trying to learn about yourself and about life and about the world, it becomes a completely different experience. Yeah. And, you know, I think a lot of the propaganda against it points towards the party aspect to it.
I like how it's kind of getting, in certain places, even in the United States, like it's starting to be so basically completely decriminalized. Like that's where if they caught you, they'd take it and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Like it's getting to the point where people are allowed to grow it at their home.
Yeah.
I got a buddy who does it, and it's like it's basically legal until it fucking sprouts and you eat it.
Yeah,
Everything
you have to throw
before
it
that,
away, right?
the spores, everything that you can transport, all of
It's
that
like
shit's
a
legal.
scientific study.
Exactly. Yeah. You're basically, doing some type of study. You can basically get everything legal, but then, we make this rule where as soon as it fucking grows, like all plants do, now it's illegal. That just sounds like, it doesn't even make sense.
No.
This thing is growing. There's no manipulation to it.
Yeah.
It's naturally occurring.
Well, I think there's an underlying issue with it is that it causes you to question like structures of society.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's the war machine or government or just any ideology, it breaks those down. And and
there's part of me that feels like before I did it, I was almost better off, but like there's another half of me that's like, I'm so glad that I see these sorts of things this way now.
Yeah.
But
I know that
it's
feeling
contradicting with like religion too. Like they say like, you know, God knows what you're thinking before you think it. This
Has
and
it all
that, and
planned.
I'm gonna make mistakes. I feel like everything has happened for a reason. I feel like I took those for a reason, whether it did me good or it did me bad. Like I had to experience that to like figure out something about myself.
Yeah.
And it helps you figure out a lot. It breaks you down, takes your walls down, like you're talking about barriers. It strips you down, and you're like naked again.
Yeah.
You get like a reset button if you want to, and a lot of people don't use it the right way.
Like you said with the partying.
Yeah, there's
I
people
can't
that
party on them.
Yeah,
I'm too much of a.
I'm trying to figure things out.
Yeah, but whenever like we've done shrooms together, small amount, we listened to that new Kid Cudi album.
We're just
Shit changed my life, dude. I'm not
vibing.
kidding. Like, bro, that I don't listen to the album the same.
Yeah.
I always get that.
that
The
initial-
apes give you that glow, that vibe. They're super like you said, emotional. If you don't eat a whole lot, you're not really gonna get super crazy visuals. But the way you think, eternalize things that you basically didn't even allow to pop up in your head. You know it's there. You know, because everyone gets those weird thoughts throughout the day, things that you said, shameful, regrets, but you don't deal with them. You don't allow your fucking brain to process that information. So now it's just bottled up. That's why whenever I take certain amount, bro, I cry.
Yeah.
I literally cry. I cannot help it. It has nothing to do with, I just got shot or, someone just died in front of me. No.
One time I was crying because I just missed Max. I was just crying.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was weird.
Or sometimes it's happiness. Like when I listen to that
that
song,
too,
I'm just filled with emotion.
And I think as a man, especially and being on Earth, you're expected to like suppress those emotions.
Yep.
And you're expected to be
Strength.
Yeah, you pull yourself up by the bootstraps and you do what you got to do and just put your emotions to the side. And I think that hurts a lot of men. I think it's considered a sign of weakness if you show your feelings, and that's a strength in my opinion. Like if you're able to be open about who you are, like that's something that most people are cowardice.
You're not afraid to show it.
I wanted to bring up, first off, thanks for opening up and sharing those stories with us and sharing us, kind of a little bit of your backstory. And I mean, this topic in general is kind of something that's not an easy thing to just dive right into. And
he just did it wonderfully.
I feel like I've talked to you. I feel like I've
Years.
talked to you about this before. Like this, dude, this is my first time meeting you.
I know, and I love it.
I appreciate you opening up like that.
Mike a little bit of background on you before.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man, and I get a lot of what you're saying. I wanted to ask, you have a chemical tattooed on your arm, if you don't mind me.
Yeah, that's psilocybin.
That's what I thought.
It looks familiar.
That's what I
Did
thought.
you like? I said psilocybin earlier. I'm like, let's make sure this is what it is.
So I wanted to ask
dope.
about that. So heck
yeah.
And
it changed my life, so I had to get it.
I love it, man. I love it. That's awesome. The other thing I was going to ask was, you were talking about how, with a little bit of the religion side of it, about how, like, if God made everything, God made, those, right? Yeah. God made mushrooms and God made this or whatever. Even when it comes to, like, the religion side of back in the day, even some of the stories in the Bible are believed to be like they were on mushrooms.
Yeah.
A lot of like the Viking eras, a lot of the raids that Vikings were fueled. The Vikings were fueled by mushrooms and psychedelic drugs on their raids of murder and villaging, and
they would have like parties and they would always ingest mushrooms and be
even
like,
even
all right,
back
we gotta build these fucking ships and go raid.
We gotta build these ships.
Even all the way back to Neanderthals and everything, mushrooms have been believed to be so much more than just what we can see them as today. And
A drug.
long story short, what I'm trying to get at is like, do you believe that part of our ancestral, like you said, you listened to Rogan, right?
Oh, yeah.
And Rogan just brought up the other day, when we close our eyes, why are we scared of the dark?
Oh yeah.
Why are we scared of the dark?
That.
Because
of
when
what happened
our
back-
ancestors back in the day, when it was dark, we got ate by cats and fucking animals.
I knew
and
he was
shit.
gonna say
no,
cats,
we did though.
dude.
That's what it is. That's part of
Jaguars,
it's embedded in
Come
our
on,
brain.
bears.
And I
We got
feel
other
like
things.
also
Yeah, true. To that too.
what's embedded in our brain is this connection between us and this
Fungus.
fungus.
Yeah,
I was
for
thinking, I had an
fear
idea
funds.
the other day of like,
It's
Even-
embedded in us to open those doors occasionally, to
We have the
experience
keys.
it at
Yeah.
least once in your life, man.
Oh, yeah.
We ain't picking no locks. Like
Yeah.
we have the key. It's accessible.
yeah. I was thinking the
door's
other day,
open,
like with what we were talking about podcasting, like your ideas, like this is gonna go on forever as like a file, I guess. It's never gonna be gone. Does that make sense? Like
File management.
your ideas travel through other people too. Like say they listen to this, they're gonna think of that too, and then they can spread that idea, and that idea,
or they
just
could
keeps
use
spreading
us
and
for
growing.
inspiration.
Yeah, it's like I was thinking of it like a tree, like seeds
Yeah.
spreading our ideas.
Yep.
The roots,
I don't know, yeah.
and then everyone uses those,
Yeah.
and it spreads out.
Yeah,
Yeah, I definitely agree with what you're saying. Yeah, I definitely think that, especially early religion, Christian religion specifically, definitely had to have come out of some psychedelic use.
Yeah.
I've even heard the Adam and Eve story was like she ate the apple because she was
Tripping
high,
balls.
tripping balls or something. I've even
Hold
heard
on, I want to eat this apple.
The snake unraveling from the tree or whatever,
And
and
that
talking to
motherfucker
her.
tripped.
If the snake's talking to you, you're probably fucked up, man.
I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
When
So,
did God say that
who
the
was
animals
the
don't
burning
talk?
bush, right?
Yeah,
Or
That one was thought
see,
about to be.
There's,
Yeah.
I see, and I gotta tell you this personally for myself. I don't know about some of these the other guys here, but I'm not very well educated when it comes to religion, really
I'm
of
not
any
either.
sort. I wasn't kind of brought up around it. It's not something that I wasn't. My parents. My grandmother especially, she was Catholic her whole life. So I was around it, but I wasn't ever preached to it and had to live a disciplined, fundamental life, kind of like what you were saying. So some of my ideas or thoughts tonight might be a little different, but that's because I'm not educated with like stories of the Bible or anything like that. So
I totally understand.
yeah,
Yeah.
I just wanted to point that out personally because sometimes I sound stupid.
Oh no, you're good.
know.
I'm pretty far removed from that now. Like I said, that person that I was died a long time
I
ago.
got you. I got you.
I mean, I can't even like.
Where do you think he went?
To hell, straight to hell. That's where he belonged, honestly.
That part, though. Now it's a different.
Well, and you'd asked me how I came up with the name Not a Shaman.
Yeah.
And
I think it kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I've taken a few people on guided experiences,
Right.
and kind of acted like a guide.
Kind of like a trip sitter, but not just
But-
watching them. You were engaging and
trying to help them figure out their problems.
That's great, dude.
And it's been awesome to do. And honestly, I've done it sober.
it's
And-
almost better to do it sober,
yeah,
dude.
And I feel like watching them transform like helps me, verify a lot of
Yeah.
what I've been feeling, and it like reinforced a lot of my feelings about it. And
That's dope.
So when I talk to people about psychedelics, they kind of look at me like I'm this out there person.
Yeah.
And I'm not a shaman.
Yeah.
Now we get it.
But I'm an advocate.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Bro, what we were saying earlier, like with people in the past taking, because acid was derived in the 50s. But they, people were licking toads. People were eating the juice, doing ayahuasca.
Is licking toads like a legitimate?
Yeah.
You lick toads. That's
You can. Well, you can't lick them. You can secrete the.
Yeah, you.
But you got to be careful.
But I thought that even what they secrete or whatever out of them,
just certain
I
ones.
thought you had
not
to
all
dry
frogs.
it out.
Yeah,
There's a process.
You
I'm
do
sure.
unlike
Pretty sure you-
glass, pretty sure.
That's what I'm saying. The DMT, natural DMT, has to be dried out and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you scrape it off and
Yeah.
then let it dry.
So
and
if
then
you do it just raw like that, is it still the same? I don't know. Personally.
I don't know.
I've never actually done DMT.
Just like
Yeah, no.
I felt like licking toads. That's not.
I don't want to do. I don't want
But
to.
then
fucking
again-
Hypnotoad and Futurama.
Hold on, that goes back to my topic a second ago of back in the day. Maybe they were just picking up toads. Back
Bro,
in the
how
day
did
and
they
licking
eat
them.
mushrooms and figure out they tripped?
You
They
think
had
that-
to.
they-
That was
There's the
just
idea that like
experiment.
eating or being able to cook meat like led to our brain
Developing more.
becoming bigger in like over thousands of years, obviously. But
Yeah.
Incongruence with.
I think that's
mushrooms.
true
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I
yeah,
just
with
ate
mushrooms.
Yeah.
I just ate a fat steak.
He said, "I'm
tonight.
smart as
I think I
shit."
just
You started
transformed.
being able to throw stuff. That was a big deal. Being
We're
able to
like,
throw
what
stuff.
the
Like,
fuck?
yeah.
But think
Throw
about these.
spears and shit.
Think about these motherfuckers that ate these shrooms together, and then they looked at each other like, "Bro, we're experiencing the same
Yeah.
thing. The connection,
Being able to communicate.
being able to."
Yeah, that's
You know what I'm saying? And you're like, I'm tripping balls, and I know exactly what you're saying.
Doesn't even have to say anything. You just
Oh,
look over at each other.
that makes
and be
sense too. Like Native Americans use a bunch of like ceremonial like stuff like that, like peace
Peyote,
pipes.
yeah.
Obviously, probably mushrooms in a sense.
Oh,
of
for sure,
like,
bro.
Probably.
I mean, they were here.
bison.
like
I
it.
assume,
We got mushrooms growing
I assume,
everywhere.
yeah, mushrooms growing bison down probably. Poop, whatever. down. Yeah.
We wiped out the bison
yeah, we did.
population.
That
bro.
video we watched.
In like
Yeah,
3 or 4
crazy.
years, we killed like 10 million bison, dude.
Millions, crazy.
Really?
Yeah, there was
I
like
swear to
there was like piles of bison skulls, stacks,
Yeah.
mountains of them.
Just a bunch of white dudes like, yeah.
Hey, hold on.
We did that.
I think that's why you see them at every thrift
Yeah,
store
it's
in
bad.
America. There's bison
me?
skulls everywhere, dude. You see them everywhere, bro. Your
Am I
grandma has
missing
one.
this?
Yeah, where am I not getting
It's
these
crazy. We
spices?
wiped out them so we could take their land because like there's no more. There was like
can't hunt.
There was like a
It was
like
a law.
backdoor law. Yeah, if there was no bison, you
We
guys don't
own
need
it.
the land. Yeah, we can take it.
Hey, you guys want to hear a funny
So
one?
we killed the bison.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I heard a funny.
Does that make sense?
No, try to make it.
A funny theory on Benjamin Franklin, right? The one with the kite.
Yeah, just the kite.
What do you have?
Nothing else important.
Okay.
Hey, it's BF. Get this motherfucker up here.
No, but the theory is that he was already believed to be a drunk. A lot of people knew he was a drunk.
With that fucking kite.
No, hold on. A lot of people are now thinking, which I don't think it's true, that he was tripping when he was out there with the fucking kite trying to get electrocuted or whatever. Like,
I mean, that makes
how
sense.
crazy you got to be to go do that?
He's out there drunk as a skunk.
Yeah.
Just fucking.
So
What if he wasn't even meaning to? I like my cut and my key.
Being drunk,
Ben, we
you
told you not to go out
shit,
there, and he's
telling
fucking.
you.
Fuck, I'm doing it.
Listen.
Yeah, out there.
I don't even know where I can quote that from, so it's probably not true at all.
You just
But
made it up.
I thought it was funny as shit.
Where did that story even come from? With not that yours, but like the key thing. I don't know. Like, did that even?
Right, did he have
that
a key
happen?
on it?
I don't know.
Well, that's where the electricity.
Yeah, I'm
hit,
saying that's the
Where did it dangle?
story.
Right? That's a great question.
Actually, like.
Did he have it at the bottom of the actual kite, or was it down there by his hand jingling around?
Right, with his other keys. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They just made all
Was
that
he
shit
a
up.
janitor?
He might have been a drunk fucking janitor.
I am.
But
Oh.
think about. And now here we go. We just tied it in. Secret societies back in when America was really getting started. Benjamin Franklin.
Benjamin Franklin. That's for short. Plankton.
Franklin? Yeah. Whatever you want to call it.
Benny Frank.
What's up, Ben Frank? These people were doing drugs and ceremonial things in their secret society,
And he's like,
making
I got
shit.
a kite. Fuck that dog shit.
They were making weird things happen doing all these weird fucking ceremonies and shit, bro. So shrooms have been used in psychedelics for good things and for bad things.
The Beatles.
Let's think about this.
The Beatles,
though.
he said.
What
There's
is
a
it?
lot of people that get their hands on shrooms that probably shouldn't.
No, that's true too.
I agree with that
true.
statement.
That
That's
like
true.
mentally aren't really in that mindset or headspace that they could be safe to take them.
They don't
And
know.
They take them and then they kind of go off
The deep end.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have a
That's
bad
crazy.
trip.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Well, you'd mentioned you kind of had an ego death, and for anybody listening that doesn't know what an ego death is, I said an eagle death. Okay, neither one of us can talk this episode. I don't know what's going on.
Sorry.
No, it's all right.
Smoked a big game.
I said eagle death, but ego. All right, he got eaten by an eagle, so. But I'm probably not going to give the best definition of it, but a very
You get points for trying.
a very extreme experience that it's not just an opening of a door. It was more of like,
A shredding down of my identity.
yeah, I mean, it's a the whole 9-yard, change your life.
Yeah, it's very similar to what you imagine you would experience when you're dying.
Yeah.
And it's like actually like feels like you're dying. I felt like I remember I felt like I was dissolving like
Yeah, you're like, I don't want to go.
The Avengers. Yeah, basically.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not done here yet.
Yeah.
Well, what I was bringing up was some people have an ego death, and essentially immediately after it puts them on a very good track. But some people have it, and then that puts them on a very bad track. So it's a
I think what happens is for some people that have that ego death experience, it's so traumatic that they go back to they cling harder back to their old identity.
Oh. Little reverse Uno action,
Yeah,
basically.
like it scares the shit out of them.
They
so
want the
bad
past
that
so
they-
bad.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
double down because if they didn't, they would they would have to acknowledge that they need to.
I
change.
change, yeah.
Whatever you're clinging onto already, it highlights it when you start tripping. You're like, I got some.
Attachment.
well, a lot of
Stuck in
people
the
say
old
don't look
trunk.
in the mirror when you're like
And I
acid.
always, bro, I've sat in a mirror for 2 or 3 hours, and I'm just like,
I've only
I
heard
can
that.
tell you look like the copy of yourself.
I don't think I'm me, bro.
See, I've heard that for acid.
I'm
not
the
specifically
doppelganger or whatever.
shrooms, but
The doppelganger.
It's me not looking at the
That's
mirror.
a doppelhanger.
Doppelganger.
You look into your eyes too much, and then you're like,
That's
what
not me,
what
bro.
am I? You ever
I
had
try
that
to
fucking
stay out
thought?
of the mirror. Bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing.
There's some horror movies about that shit. They pull you in. and
Right. You're like, and
Those,
just-
those infomercials. Have we dove into those?
oh, doing
Other than me
watching.
and Logan.
Okay, so yeah, we've described that like really like emotional and spiritual connection. But let's not all act like shrooms don't just get you fucking giddied up, cracking
Laughing.
your ass. Like, bro, it's almost like scary
Yeah.
because you can't even process
Stop
anything.
laughing?
Bro,
Yeah.
yes.
Because you can make a joke clearly
That
about
doesn't make
anything.
sense.
Like
How many times have you tripped in general now? Or taking shrooms? I like saying taking shrooms because it's not just tripping.
I've only done acid once, but
hate
shrooms
acid.
shrooms I've done probably 13 or 14 times.
And you've done it with people too?
I've done it alone. I've done it with people. I've done large.
I felt
doses.
better when I was alone. Personally, I don't know
Some
what it
people do.
was. Like
Some people do.
when I was about 2 or 3 grams around that area, and I felt better like being alone. And I took a really good nap by myself. I was like, this is, yeah.
Probably weren't even napping. You were just like,
No, I probably wasn't asleep. I was probably wide awake.
You were in this like fucking trance, dude. So have you experienced like just getting like just losing it, laughing? Like it's like you gotta breathe. You gotta remember to breathe.
I mean, honestly, unfortunately, I haven't had too many. I mean, I've had amazing times where I
Yeah.
feel like this is
I was gonna
closest.
say some people don't.
I've had like where this is the closest to heaven I'll ever be, like
Yeah.
kind of feeling. But I've never really had like hang out with friends and joke around. Like it's always been really with intent of like some type of growth.
Got you.
But I would like. I mean, I would like the other way too. You know, I would like to do that.
Sometimes
It's refreshing, kind of, if you think about it.
You wake up and you're like,
Damn, that was nice.
I just took a hot shower.
the thing about, you know, what we're explaining, which I think all of us in this room has experienced besides you just saying now, when you do it with friends, it's not only, you know, like you got to trust them, which is obvious, but you got to worry about what the reaction of them is going to be, not only you. So it becomes
like a buddy.
almost like a task and a responsibility that puts a weight on your trip and your experience. So, you know, being alone, just like Dylan said, a lot of people like a lot better. And I like being around people when I'm tripping or, you know, getting further on into my plateau. But I do find there's moments where it's like, I need to experience this and not be interrupted. And sometimes there will be other things going on and I can't help it. And that's kind of unfortunate.
That is a good point.
But I do like being around people because the laughter, music, it turns into heaven. And then you said a bunch about nature already. Nature in general is just...
You feel so connected.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
The connection experience, I got a story of... I just took about 3 grams, I think. And I just wanted to take 3, get it started off, and I was going to take more. But I didn't know how strong they were, so I just wanted to do 3, and I was like, hopefully that'll get me to a decent point, right?
Yeah.
Well, me and my friends went outside, and we started a bonfire. It was a nice day, kind of like today. And we had a bonfire, and the sun was still out, but I reached down to light the fire, and when I lit the fire, the immediate reaction of the fire starting and the heat from that fire coming, I felt like I was the fire. Like no, and it's like nothing. I had no signs of tripping, no signs of anything changing.
It was the spark.
And when I lit that fire and I stood up, that was the igniter for me. Something about the being outside and igniting that fire started that
fire is life.
As soon as I got up and looked around, I knew I was.
I love that
going
feeling.
in.
You're like,
I know what you're talking about.
And I don't know what it was, but that fire, man. I'm telling you.
It's like situational.
I'm doing another episode of my podcast tomorrow, and it's about the ego construct. And that feeling that reminds me of like you're in a state of total awareness. You're no longer like looking through your eyes. You're just aware of whatever it is, and that's all. There's no thoughts. There's no anything. It's just you are that thing. And in this episode, I'm going to talk about like when you're born into this world, you're born in a state of awareness. You know, you don't have any ideas or thoughts about yourself. You don't have an identity. You don't really have an ego at all yet.
yeah.
And you're given a name, you're given, you know, experiences and parents, and they teach you things, and then you slowly start to form a sense of self and an identity. And, you know, all of the characteristics of who you are added to you throughout your life through external experiences.
Yeah. It's never just you.
Yeah, it's
Very
never
well
just
put.
you.
Yeah.
And I think that if you could look back at that state of awareness, that's what we all have behind this identity. Like, if you can tap into that, like you can tap into it through psychedelics, you can do it through meditation, exercise, music. If you can tap into that state of awareness, like that's where you recognize that we're all one. We're all the same thing, you know, and that can allow you to like not judge other people the same way anymore.
Yeah.
You realize that, you know, they're a product of their experiences, and if I had their experiences, I would probably be like them too. Yeah, that's kind of the powerful lesson I've learned from psychedelics.
That's huge, dude.
Yeah, and you put that very well, man. Like,
imagine everyone basically getting to that point. Like it would be complete like harmony.
Yeah,
everyone would be like, I can't.
Just sounds nice, you know, to truly, you know, say, you know, I don't have an ego, you know, like my identity is just
the ego will always be there. And,
Yeah.
And it's about how much of a grip it has on you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the ego is useful. You need the ego as a reason to survive, you know, in a dog-eat-dog world, especially as we were developing as human beings. You know, you needed an identity and a reason to want to be here, and you needed, you know, aspects of who you are to keep you going. That's just how the world works. And
You'd be left behind.
Yeah, and you could allow that to completely control who you are. You could be completely controlled by your ego and live through that perception, or, you know, you can step away.
Think about like the ego of countries, dude. Like you got this ego that's like, and like you said, all these external forces that are shown to us at such a young age, that's how we develop. You said it's parents, but it's also like, you know what I mean, where you live, culture. Culture's huge. I mean, there are certain places where that's all you know. And you are always forced to basically, and maybe not even forced, but sometimes, you know, it is. That's it. Everyone has the same ego.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, America's cool because like you do kind of, you know, all these where you live, but sometimes you see people, you know, they might live in the worst conditions, but their, you know, their individuality gets them to be where they want to be. But then you have other countries where it's like that exact ego is what everyone thinks. And that's why we're all the same, which might not, you know, which might not be great.
Yeah. Well, it's just the problem with any ideology that anyone is wrapped up in, whether you're religious or atheist or this or that. It doesn't matter. Like it traps you inside of a bubble, and it closes you off to the rest of the world, and like keeps you from changing the patterns you're in. You know, it reinforces.
I think it's inside.
I got one on my keys.
The ideologies reinforce, you know, what you believe over and over again, and, you know, keeps you a prisoner, essentially.
You said you're coming out with a podcast tomorrow?
Yeah.
So
I've been kind of...
When we come out with this, it'll probably already be out, but for everybody listening or watching, I'm Not a Shaman, right?
Yeah.
So go listen to that, because the way you're explaining this to me, man, I'm going to be honest with you real quick. You're opening up doors to me right now. Like, I got to think about my response so I don't. Because, like, you're putting things you're wording things so nicely for me right now.
The articulation is
I don't even think
perfect.
I've had anybody in my life explain some of the things that you explain.
I feel like I'm getting sedated. Like, I'm just sitting here
I'm
like,
not trying to be weird. I'm just saying.
I totally get it.
You've got a really interesting way at looking at things, and I mean, I really enjoy hearing you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I really appreciate that. And honestly, like, I don't think that I'm anything special because of the shit that I've been through.
Right.
I didn't ask.
Right.
I kind of didn't really ask I didn't know what I was getting
I didn't ask for this.
Yeah. And, you know, I left out a little bit of my overall story. Like, after I had that kind of ego death experience, I was diagnosed with cancer. Like, a few months later. And I had stage 3 cancer, and I went through.
And you beat that shit.
Yeah, and
damn, stage 3. May I ask where?
It was Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Oh shit! So that's
I had blood cancer.
Yeah, holy fuck.
So it was from my neck to my lower abdomen.
And you had no even like, because my mom actually just beat breast cancer.
Awesome.
So like, you had no idea of that. What made you? Did you just start showing some type of symptoms, and it just you were like, I gotta check this out?
Like,
yeah, you're already up
shit.
in that, but you already went through 1 and 2. Like, you didn't even think about it.
Yeah,
that never came to your brain. Like,
and I've read that the type of cancer I had might not show symptoms at all for 5 to 10 years before. As it's developing, it's a very slow process. But thankfully, the cancer I have actually is the second most treatable cancer, next to testicular cancer.
Okay.
So I had that going for me. I mean, it's, you know, cancer sucks, like no doubt. But
you got treated all here in Indianapolis and stuff?
I actually went to Rochester. They have an oncology unit there, and did chemotherapy.
In Rochester? Was that here?
Yeah.
Okay.
He said New York. In New York.
But yeah, I went through that, and honestly, that's another reason I attribute like shrooms possibly saving my life, is because had I not had that ego death experience just a few months before, I might have interpreted my experience with cancer completely differently.
You could have had this like
I likely would have had like, I'm gonna die,
scared instead of like
been,
I'm gonna beat this confidence.
Yeah, and I
put my all into it.
I embraced that experience as a way to like teach me more about myself. Like,
Wow.
And it ended up cancer next to the psychedelic experience was one of the. I hate to say this because it doesn't work out for a lot of people.
Yeah.
It was one of the best things that ever happened to me.
Wow.
I mean, it was rough, but it definitely forced me to keep walking down like this spiritual path.
That's dope.
And I'm a better person because of it, for sure. But because that just kind of has pushed me down further into this kind of not a shaman identity, and just wanting to help other people.
Yeah.
Because I'm blessed to be here.
That selflessness, like I'm here to help others because that's how I gain.
And I still fail, as a human being. Like my ego comes back sometimes, but now I recognize when it happens. I'm able to course correct when I make mistakes. When I was younger and my old identity, I didn't. I just constantly fucked up.
Kept moving like that's not. I didn't even do that shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking watch that episode, bro.
So how many episodes do you have, roughly?
This will be number 4. I've
Ooh.
only done a few. They're very short, maybe like 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
But they're kind of a message, more so than a length.
Like an
podcast.
explanation.
Yeah.
It's more of like an straight direct.
Of certain ideas. And
I
it's
got
just,
you.
It's just me talking. So eventually I would like to
Bro, I want to put a soft piano behind your voice, bro. Playing a nice B minor.
So you had also wanted to talk about, we're very proud to shout out your podcast and want people to listen to it. I think we all are very interested in your topics and the way you approach things. But you wanted to approach the idea of podcasts themselves and what they have done for society and communities.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what they've done for me is unbelievable. I started listening to...
They've changed my life in a way of like, I don't watch TV anymore. If I come home, I turn on a podcast. If I go to work, I'm listening to a podcast. If I'm going on a jog, if I'm going on a run, if I'm going on a walk, like don't listen to a whole, I still listen to my music, don't get me wrong, but podcasts have really become like I'm constantly keeping my brain in a form of open, like, my ears are open.
You're intellectually stimulating
right,
your mind.
Right. Yeah. So it's been, I'm sure there's a ton of podcasts you listen to, right?
Yes, I go through phases.
Yeah, me
just
too.
Like anyone else, I'm sure. But I got exposed to podcasting through Joe Rogan about 7 years ago. I've been a listener.
I'm pretty sure me too. I think
2017 when I started.
And
that's already 1,000 years ago, bro. This fucking shit's moving way too fast.
It's crazy to think they were into it a long time ago too, because like when I was in my PJs as a little kid, they were doing podcasts. I didn't know what a podcast was, dude.
In my bro,
my Spider-Man undies
I
on,
remember
dog.
going in the computer lab in like middle school and then like showing us the podcast app.
I don't fucking remember that, bro.
On the iMac, they had like a podcast like icon thing, but it wasn't like no one podcast. It was supposed to be like that, but it wasn't like that.
It wasn't a verb. You don't be podcasting. That shit was
we're
few and far
to look
between.
up and see if there's like a history of like.
And we're on episode 54.
Yeah.
I think we have a few more because we don't include fight nights, right?
Oh yeah, but we got a handful more from the fight nights and games
like
too.
best of.
Yeah, best of episodes. Yeah. But so for you, what do you like most about podcasts, and what do you want to get into? Like, ask us about, since we've been doing a podcast.
Yeah, I was actually what was planned on saying when we first started conversation is like this setup you guys have, like being close friends and having these types of conversations normally, is something that I would have loved, like in high school and right out of high school, because I had a tight knit group of friends back then. And we had wild conversations that I wish we could have recorded, honestly.
I think we've all, bro, I think hanging out with friends, we've all been there before, where even probably other people, like not just us, where we've all looked around.
What, really got my wheels turning, like when we first, like it was during the quarantine.
The Last Dance.
We came over and started watching the Last Dance documentary every Sunday, like just us talking. It was like, we'd hang out on my patio and start talking like, shit, man, this is cool. We could have a fucking podcast. It took a while to like.
That's where our name kind of derivated from too. To be honest, is after that last Sunday of the last episode, we were like,
"How do we keep this going?
We want to keep hanging out every Sunday." And we were like, "Fuck it."
It was more than just like hanging out too. It was like we got to do something that like makes us happy and that can make other people happy and like help them, inspire them, keep them entertained, like whatever way possible. And it like helps us so much. Like, dude, I feel like I don't even like remember certain things in the past just because like I've been locked in with this, bro. I graduate audio engineering and music production school.
It is like
this month, bro.
Week after week.
I've been doing all this shit in school and keeping this, like, bro, I just been locked in. And it's like now it's like I have the dedication to keep this shit going, and I don't need that school like structure. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
Like I've had a problem with that. You know what I mean? What do I do?
Just like all of us, I think we all listen to Joe, and what he says all the time is it's you're just practicing talking. You were just conversating.
Yeah.
That's all it is. We got these things in our head right now. We got these mics in front of our face, but that's for you guys.
That's for you.
If we get some cooler technology, maybe we don't have this shit.
Maybe we can just fucking talk brain to brain.
I think that's why podcasts are so fascinating, and what they're doing is because a lot of people are afraid to have normal conversation anymore. They're so wrapped up in their phone or whatever the fuck.
It's weird now.
Yeah, and I think that listening to a podcast, you can kind of not have to be involved, and you can just kind of listen, and I feel like that slowly is like it's creating some type of awakening. I feel like in society for sure, especially Joe Rogan's podcast.
My god,
that's why the media is trying to fuck with him.
They don't like these. Yeah, they don't like it.
They know that he looks at everything from every type of perspective that there could be.
Yeah,
and like lets anybody on his podcast that wants to have a respectful conversation.
They don't want different views to be spread. They want one view.
Yeah. Well, see what Dave Smith, or I think that was recently, said about him was that he doesn't lie to his audience. You know, that's why, it's listening to a mainstream news network. They're fucking lying to you.
Right.
And whether Joe Rogan has a good or bad opinion or a wrong opinion, he's coming at it, whether it's wrong or not, from an honest, objective perspective. And I think that's why people, admire him.
Yeah, like he's got best friends on there sometimes, and he looks at them and he'd be like, "That's not true," or like he'll be like, he's just honest. He's not being mean. He's not
pushing an agenda.
Yeah. He's just questioning. He's trying to come to the truth about any subject that he's talking about. And then he messes around, and he's like any other human. He says things that he doesn't mean, or he'll say something like that could be taken out of context, and
or he
they want to bash him for it.
Or he has a moment of weakness and says something fucked up, but
later
on comes to the realization and apologizes.
He's not sitting here reading off of a teleprompter or a list or a piece of paper.
Yeah, but if anything, this thing only got him more famous.
Oh yeah,
all this stuff coming out about it only got him more famous.
Because then you get the people that are looking at
trying to shut him down. You fucking made him more famous.
Yeah, they're looking at what he's saying. They're like, he's a fair guy.
He gets both sides of the stories. That's what they really don't like.
That's one thing I love about the guy. He didn't want to be this big. He's like, I was hoping.
Dude's a comedian.
He said when he hopped over to Spotify, in his honest opinion, he thought he was going to decrease in
Yeah.
views and stuff by like 25%. He said no, it skyrocketed.
Yeah, exclusivity made
Yeah.
it. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah,
That's hot right now. Exclusive.
Well,
15 million downloads every like a week or whatever
Since
every
every
episode.
episode.
Yeah, every
I
episode.
wanted to
crazy.
bring up something. We can get into whatever we want. I've appreciated everything you've talked about, but there's something going on that, we're going to be watching fights here soon, but Kane Velasquez.
Yeah, I need someone to explain that to me
So-
100%.
Kane Velasquez is he a heavyweight?
He's a fighter.
He's a
heavyweight
former
champion.
UFC heavyweight champion of the world.
One of the best ever.
Arguably the best ever of that division.
Wow, okay.
And he's always been known in the league as like a great guy. All these fighters, all these people are coming out and responding, saying they have his back. But long story short, he has a 5-year-old. It was a 5-year-old daughter or 5 or 10-year-old.
very, very young.
4-year-old, yeah, 4 or 5 years old, and 4. I think it's 4.
He's a 5 or 10-year-old.
5, 10.
Somewhere in between.
A
Just
little pup.
Hey, but no laughing matter though. A 4-year-old get some type of sexual allegations of this
from him?
No, from some guy had
Okay.
been sexually abusing this girl somehow. I don't know details how or whatever, but it was Kane's daughter, and Kane Velasquez took the law into his own hand and
Good.
tried to ram him off the road,
That's expensive.
and then ended up shooting
There's
him.
Kane on the screen right there.
He ended up shooting shots at him, but I guess he ended up shooting the wrong guy somehow.
His dad.
Oh, shit.
The guy who was trying to shoot his dad was there, and I think he like dove in front of the bullet. So it wasn't like he was trying to
They were
shoot
in
his
a
dad.
car,
Yeah.
and they were on like a 12-mile chase or something like that.
What the
and He
fuck?
was trying to like run him off the road and like kill this dude.
But
Damn.
everybody's out here saying free Kane because they're trying to give him like 20 to life for like attempted murder. And he did kind of,
People are calling him a vigilante.
yeah, and it's weird to take this into,
It's like, all right, you could be in trouble for kind of endangering other people surrounding the situation. But
I agree with that. But what would you do?
I was
What
gonna
would
say,
you do?
If you learned your 4-year-old daughter, like,
What the fuck
Violent
would you
every
do?
every man in America is
And
on the
woman.
same page.
And woman.
Yes.
Like, let's get fucking real, dude.
Nobody wants that guy.
Let's stop being so technical.
it's I don't know if you probably heard Bisbee talking about it, but Rogan was like, I wish he would just got a hold of his hands on him instead of like trying
beat
to shoot him.
death.
Yeah.
Well, that's the fighter and the kid, Brendan Schaub and them were talking about it too, and it's like, realistically, for the guy that did this, if they send him to a jail, it's going to have to be a very, very specific jail to where he'll be watched at all times, because they can't send him to any, or when I say jail, prison, I mean,
Yeah.
they can't send him to any prison because he'll immediately get killed by somebody. Like, as soon as you go to a prison and you're known as a dude for raping a 4-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna die.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
gonna kill you. It's no fucking around. And then the other thing about it is like they were all saying he's
Yeah, Brandon Schaub's like, do
Should've
you think
just-
he doesn't have Mexican gang members that are family members that?
it's like if they release this guy back out onto the streets, like don't
Kane
charge
is
him
a-
or whatever.
and everybody
Everybody on the streets are gonna
Kane,
kill
like,
this guy.
yeah.
Like it's not gonna be good news for
crazy.
him either way. And I also
not
agree with the fact that I wish Kane would have just got his hands on him and.
Went to
I
town.
mean,
That's what he
because
was
Brendan
trying to do,
was like, dude, you're
probably.
showing that guy an easy way out by shooting him and killing him. He's like, you need to beat him senseless. And I hate
crazy.
some people hate the view of that, but to
But
be honest,
imagine how mad he had to have been. Like he's a trained mixed martial artist, and he was like, I don't even want
He
to
got
use
a
my hands,
gun.
bro. He's like, I'm gonna take this gun and I'm gonna cause hell.
Yeah.
well,
He was pissed, dude.
the big thing I'm leaving out here too is he
over
belie-
100 times. So I don't
over
know if you-
100 times, and
Yeah.
the other girls were now involved too.
Yeah.
And it's like the police would, when I say he took the law into his own
Yeah,
hands, the
too.
police would never arrest him. So he said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do what needs to be done."
What's right?
And potentially he saved a lot of little girls from getting.
Hey, but
Let's be serious.
if he does get in trouble, he could plea for like having
Oh,
CTE.
insanity. Yeah. Yeah, he could have like an insane.
Well, everybody's trying to claim
Like a
it's
little
CTE
crazy
from his
action.
fighting.
I think you would
and
just
it's
fucking
not.
like a rage of like finding that out, like finding out that happened.
Dude, he
Like,
tried.
all
he,
right, fuck
I
it.
do the same
he
thing.
ran
Don't
him
get in the
off the
fucking
road
car,
in
yeah.
an Ford
let's hang
F-250, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
He went
anyone
crazy.
that could give him shit for that, like,
No,
imagine it happens to your fucking child.
Justified act, like
100%
it's wrong,
justified.
It's not like
I brought that up just because I feel like he shouldn't get 20 to life. I really feel like that's a really harsh punishment for.
Give him 10 to 15.
give him 2 years in probation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give
That's
him
not
2
bad,
years
yeah.
in probation.
So he didn't hurt anyone else?
Nobody
besides the
I'm
dad?
pretty sure
Yeah,
that
he
car
accidentally shot
wrecked.
the dad.
And is he
Yeah.
dead?
No.
No.
Is he in critical condition? Is he
I
going
mean,
to
he got
I
survive?
think he's gonna
concussed,
be-
so
yeah.
it sucks.
Okay, so I don't even know if you could say that's attempted manslaughter. I mean, that person wasn't the
That's what they're
one.
trying him for.
They're
'Cause
saying because
Attempted
with the
manslaughter?
vehicle because he was trying to run him off the road.
Vehicular
That's
manslaughter
like
too?
public, like a public
Yeah,
charge too, like endangerment or
Mhm.
something like that.
Yeah.
You're.
it's gonna be a battle.
Putting other lives into danger
It
too.
would have been such a different
They're
story.
scrappy.
If it
He
was
should
just
get-
him chasing dude on foot, just one on one. Like he probably
Mhm.
would have been in a lot less trouble.
He
But
should have
Yeah,
a pretty
for
good
sure.
lawyer though.
It's
I
like a
assume.
family in the car or something ridiculous.
That's where it gets to where like you got to think about it. Like, dude, he's not just doing thing. And yes, that's not his intention,
But,
but
bro,
he's
when you-
using
when
that
you hear
rage.
That news, like you
Yeah.
put yourself in his shoes. You hear that news.
Oh,
and you're
I'm
like,
doing
I
it.
have no.
Who's gonna
rational
stop him
thoughts.
either?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
any
dude.
any family is gonna stop him trying to get out
And
the
he
door.
probably, I'm not just saying this, he probably does have some sort of like
Yeah.
CTE going on. He's been hitting his head more than most. on the
Heavyweights
earth.
too. Yeah.
But that's not why
No.
that happened.
No,
No.
absolutely not. But the rage, the instant
Oh,
rage,
I'm
like,
guaranteeing,
of
yeah.
like he
I'ma
didn't
hurt
even want to
everyone.
use his hands, and you know he could easily hurt any like normal civilian. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On a bad day, the dude's he is one
Dirty
of the best
dog.
UFC fighters ever.
Oh,
Not in
yeah.
just the heavyweight division. One of the best UFC fighters ever.
He's a scary man, that's for sure. I just
Even
had to
Dana
bring
was,
it up.
Even Dana was like, "Yeah, I would have done the same thing."
See? I didn't have a lot of topics or anything. I wanted to make sure we talked about other psychedelics if you were into it, but I didn't know if
I've
you had other.
no, I actually recently got access to DMT. I just
Really?
haven't tried it yet.
Yeah. See, well, there's, I mean, DMT, peyote, there's.
I would do everything but DMT, bro. Because, like,
I heard peyote's the best that someone that I know that's had.
I would do peyote all day long, bro.
There's
I like
that,
cactuses.
that hallucinogenic honey.
Yeah.
What?
That,
Yeah. Have you seen it grow? They lower themselves down these like ropes.
Oh, I think
and,
I've
like,
seen. And they
pick
get
it.
all fucking stung and shit.
No,
got,
they
like,
die. Damn
Yeah,
near.
they
He
fall.
said no,
one of
they
those.
just
That's
die.
one of
It's
the
in,
most.
fuck, where's it?
Malaysia or some shit.
No. God damn it.
Zimbabwe.
I know in the
I don't
Himalayas.
fucking know.
The Himalayas.
I don't remember.
Pretty sure it's in
I-
the mountains. I think.
It's a something Rogan. We talked about this before on the podcast.
Yeah,
but
I've done acid too many times. Done with it. I'm cool
I've had
on it.
Enough of all that. Yeah.
It's like to the point where it's like that is strictly just party / getting so fucked up. Like I don't want to be fucked up. You know what I mean? I might not always take mushrooms to have this super
Dixie,
deep
bro.
connection.
what are you looking for, bro?
Psychedelic.
Those are titties, bro. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
I can't see.
Yeah,
That was
I
Kane
can't
again.
either. I was looking at that.
Yeah.
Boobs.
Would you just shut up? It just shows the same.
They're
thing.
back.
Here's
Yeah, I've seen
pictures
that.
of this. Yeah, holy.
Himalaya.
Look at dude's fucking
Yeah,
hands,
Scary
bro.
Movie 3, Alien.
Yeah. Eat the honey.
This is how we pee.
They're getting
I
high.
thought that
as
was a
they're-
sloth.
They get high as they pick it.
There's that dude. He's done every fucking
I'm pretty
drug.
sure you can buy it legally. I think
And
it's
dude,
called Mad Honey.
Mad Hatter.
You know the
Right there,
Futurama
there you go,
episode?
$65 for 8 ounces.
Did you bring up the Futurama episode, Vinny? Of the honey?
That half pound, baby.
How are you allowed to buy
There's a
it?
Futurama
Jared
episode.
might have.
that they do this honey where
And they get fucked up.
Yeah, it's a psychedelic honey.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I think I do remember that.
Leela
now, in
ends
the
up
back of my
dying
mind.
off of it because she overdoses on it.
Yes.
And gets
Perfect.
stuck in a permanent trip. Never wakes up again.
That's like one of my worst fears, bro. I've been where I was tripping so hard. I've
this is a
closed
good end.
eyes, visualizations. I'm like, this shouldn't be happening.
Little kids on like tricycles,
Bro.
and knives and shit. And like, yeah,
I've had to like drive away from places tripping. Like I'm like, dude, I gotta get home or I'm going to
Yeah, I'm
something
torched,
bad's
yeah.
gonna happen. I'm gonna risk my freedom driving.
acid is what made me do all that shit. I don't like acid.
But remember, like the fake acid, the I9,
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that shit had a
25i,
sour taste to it,
25C.
bro, and it was strictly visuals
lasted,
and
like,
dome.
2 hours,
Bro,
and
I know it was
like,
quick as shit. I was
but
like,
it
this
makes you
isn't
a
right.
fucking tweaker.
It makes you a
That's what
cartoon,
it felt
bro.
like to me.
It makes you
I walked
inky and-
I was like,
outside-
hey, what?
Bro, yeah.
Fucking
I walked
crazy.
outside and I was like, the ground.
Pixelated.
No, it's styrofoam.
Oh.
Like, I was like, I can't deal with this. It was kind of cold out. It was
Yeah.
like 7 a.m. It was like dew.
can't step on
What about Spice or
Yes,
Salvia?
Spice had me trip balls.
Never,
I hated
ever,
it.
ever, ever do that again. Thank you, Lord.
Yeah, Spice is a no-go.
Never.
Salvia,
shit almost killed
Salvia's,
me.
Yeah.
Salvia, I thought I smoked
it's
it,
like
but
a
I was
50-50
just
for people.
You were.
I literally just
smoking.
picked up like some type of
Grass.
flower from my garden, bro, and I was like, I'm gonna smoke it. I smoked salvia. No,
No,
bro.
that's not-
I got a headache. I was like 13.
That's
Like,
not
what am I
Shut this
doing?
area down.
Cut his mic.
Yeah.
Cut the mic, bro.
Hey, wait. Let me tell you. Fucking. But I haven't done any. I haven't done peyote.
I ain't
I
smoked
think
my
we're all on
mom's
the same
plants
page.
in a while.
I think we're all literally on the same page when it comes to.
I said same age. I was like, wow.
No.
Yeah, you're
We're all
old
the
as
same.
fuck,
If
bro.
you put your headphones on, there, D.
No.
No.
I can hear. I can hear you. 'cause
I know, but
don't
when
have
Jay
them
comes on, you're gonna have to.
Okay.
Okay.
He hold me on to the
But
fight
what I
stuff.
was saying is, we're all on the same page as you know, I think.
Age wise. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh my god, dude.
He's stuck.
Of. I'm not even gonna say it anymore. So
Say
fuck
it. Say it. Of only doing mushrooms.
No, I'll let you guys start something else. You guys start another fucking topic.
How about the Vikings?
Mike, you don't like
Football
the fuck-
season is over, D.
Man.
Yeah. I think I keep Kirk.
I don't really know, to be honest.
I think. I don't even know if the Colts are going to go after Russ or. I heard Mariota maybe.
It,
I would
it
like
wouldn't
that.
make a difference. We're still gonna suck.
True.
We got a good wide receiver
Hey.
core, but
He's a diehard fan, but he knows.
we need a lot of help.
Are these guys all right?
Damn it. As soon as I turned, they went away.
Well, this dude, how is he a 155 pounder?
Oh, I remember that. Was there? Do
What do
we
we
have
wanna
any?
talk about,
do we have
fellas?
anything? I mean, we can just end.
I
it.
want to ask you about your new apartment. How's that going?
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
it's awesome,
like
but
it?
it was probably one of the worst weeks of my life. Just
Oh, yeah,
because
'cause
of
you're trucking everything.
happening. Yeah,
But you're sleeping well now.
it's pretty nice. Yeah, It's
Moving
pretty fucking
sucks.
You wake up, you fart, you just
Right,
get
right.
going.
nice. Go back. Go back to
Wake
sleep.
up Courtney with his
Yeah. You're like, Courtney, what's this shit?
Yeah, dude, that's probably the highlight of the whole house. Just being able to do that.
Like,
Right
no
on.
one can tell you no.
I bet your
You
mom
know?
was sad that you left, though. I bet
My
she was
mom's
sad.
crazy. She posted on. I love
I
her.
remember
to
when
death.
I moved out of Haley's house when she moved out. Her mom cried when she moved
Well, we're
out.
living in like a
like-
duplex, so it's not like I got like my own house.
Yeah.
Which I mean,
Well,
it is
you
my
do.
own
You're
place,
moving out though.
but-
You don't live with her.
But she posted she posted a post like I moved away,
Yeah,
far
yeah,
away,
yeah.
got a house, like I'm doing something huge for myself, and it's like no, I'm in a duplex.
That is huge, Mike.
is
What are you
good.
talking
It's not
about?
that big.
What? You got people living in duplexes everywhere.
I moved out of mom and dad's. That's the biggest thing
Yeah.
about it.
That's a success story.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to live in a duplex with one of my homies right next. Bro, that would be
I
dope.
would love for that.
That would be cool as fuck.
Neighbors seem like they're cool.
Right on.
Because, like, you got your own crib.
They brought me cupcakes and they caught me smoking already. So
There you go.
I don't know.
So
I
they're
didn't
cool.
mean
Right
to.
on, yeah.
I didn't mean to.
good.
Okay, yeah.
It wasn't in the house. I didn't. I'll
yeah.
never do it in the place just because I can't.
Did they seem
do it.
okay about it?
Well, they saw me do it that day, and then later on that night, they got me cupcakes.
I think that's an A plus B. That
He's gonna be
equals
high. He's
C.
gonna
They're
do
out there
these.
scraping your like ash off the ground.
They're smoking your
They
shit.
seem like very cool people. So
They're great.
Is it younger? Older?
yeah, I think they're around our age.
Where do you live now? What? Lebanon?
It's still here in
Yeah.
town. Old Leb.
Hell yeah, I'm
Nice.
coming over soon.
It's nice. I think I sent a video of it
Yeah.
to you when I first got in there.
You got ghosts
But-
in the basement?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's old as shit.
Hell yeah.
And Vinny was joking around about us doing an episode down in the basement.
That'd be fun.
Let's
It'd be
do
fun.
it. That'd be kind of
That'd be fun as
scary.
fuck.
It's pretty cool down
We
there.
need like
I mean,
a poker table or something. We could put like
it's only cool because I
people
have all
around
my
it.
shit
That'd be
six
cool.
people around
down
it.
there, but
Little
You have to
name-
describe that more.
I don't know how to.
what are you
a
beating
bar?
off two dudes right here, dude?
He's talking about like
You know what I'm saying?
Name
What's
tag.
that
have your own
word?
personal like.
Like the camera cuts and it's got like stats.
Oh.
Oh,
Like
oh,
weight
the
and
little
height
tiny,
and,
yeah,
like,
the little
college.
tiny thing. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It shows your cards and shit.
Yep,
Yeah.
that'd actually be kind of fucking
That'd be
cool.
cool.
Man, I was playing VR poker the other day. Crazy.
Yeah, how did that
Punch
go?
that dude.
It's crazy. It's pretty cool being able to like move the chips and shit. It's
See, I gotta learn how to play poker before I get
Can
on
do
there.
VR
It's actually
poker.
not that. It's actually not that bad. You're just like fuck it.
See,
If
I
you think
learned
it's
how
gonna
to do it back in the day, but
If you-
now I completely forget.
really, even the
if you
VR
learn
does it for
VR
you. Like it
poker
tells you
first,
who has the
show
better
up
hand.
with the
So-
Oculus on.
Sounds like
and
a
it tells you
Well, I
what you
went to-
have in your hand. Like,
cheat code.
When I went to Vegas, I was like,
all right.
I don't even want to step up to one of the tables. I'll look like an idiot.
Yeah.
You just like, just get up there, fucking.
The dude's a good 180 pounds
They're
right now.
fold,
That's absolutely ridiculous.
They're all absolutely ridiculous.
He weighed in at 155.
He didn't gain 30 fucking pounds.
Okay, that dude does not look
I don't
the
know.
same size as him.
I know, he looks smaller. Maybe he did gain 30 fucking pounds. That's just a smack bizzle right there, bro.
Somebody should have warned me.
Sorry. So you're huge into NFTs. What was I about to say? You're huge into UFC, right? I was about to sell you some, bro.
NFTs.
That came out of nowhere, dude. I hate NFTs, dude. I despise them.
No,
Definitely not
he likes
NFTs.
I hate them. UFC. That's where I
Oh, yeah.
was going.
Yeah, Rogan got me onto it, and I've just fell in
I
love
think that's a
since.
spiritual thing too, is enjoying and understanding fights, like for what they really are. It's not
I remember when I was
just dummies beating each other up.
Oh yeah, that's what I thought when I was younger
Yeah.
too. My stepfather used to buy the pay-per-views, and I'd watch it for a little bit, and I'd be like, these guys are just fucking brutal savages. Like,
Dumb.
but yeah, they're dumb. They're just meatheads beating the shit out of each other. But there's so much more to it than that.
Yeah.
Like
For sure.
the level of intelligence you have to
The
have.
discipline.
Oh, yeah.
There's
Kid.
I see.
no. We've talked plenty of times now about the level of respect it comes to fighting when it comes to mixed martial arts and
Yeah.
just Vinny's. I don't know if he's told you he's done some training of himself.
I've watched some of his videos on
Yeah.
the internet of him boxing, and that's
Nothing
pretty
like
badass.
crazy, but just we've all kind of. I think Dylan, you're starting.
I've
right?
done a little jiu-jitsu, and I'm gonna go back and do probably boxing, like
Okay,
more so. There's an American Top Team gym that one of my buddies, Julian and Devin, they both train there.
They're both cool people. Shout out, Julie,
Yep.
Devin.
And they've done, I think they've both done some of the grappling tournaments that they like hold there at the ATT gym. It's like, I forget what it's called, but and then Dustin Parrish, he's like one of the fighters there that like teaches jiu-jitsu classes and stuff. He's like top 5 in the lightweight and of like Indiana like fighters.
That's dope.
In MMA, so I'm gonna get back in there.
Well,
Once I
think you
get
should.
first shift again, you know, it's been a little weird
I
working second
bet.
shift. So
I bet.
I would love to do it myself. In the last probably 8 or 9 months, I've got into really good shape. I exercise 5 or 6 days a week.
and that's key. That's like the biggest part of it is like being in shape and being able to have endurance through, you know,
And it's the mind.
it's
thing.
humbling can be, honestly, like it's one of the most humbling things that I've done, because there's like people that have been doing it, like even like the young kids that are there that are like 13, 14 years old, like they're badass little kids, dude. Like even if it's their parent or something getting them into it, like they're disciplined and you can tell like they're like determined and they're like rolling with like grown ass men, like 30-year-old men, and like it's crazy. And then there's kids over there boxing in the ring that would knock my ass out. Like they're like 16 years old. I'm
It's like, fuck.
Okay. Like I could handle mine in like the street, but like you put gloves on and like you have like a time limit and like you got it. There's rules and stuff that's like a discipline that you learn. No matter
Wrestling,
what age, like if you start building that up, like it don't matter when you start really. I mean, you can't be too old, but like
wrestling is on another level. Like kids that start at a young age,
right.
they get like
Wrestling
they get
is a
fucking good,
different
man.
ball game. Like I don't know wrestling at all.
It's
I
so
know
hard.
jiu-jitsu, like how to like trump some wrestling, but
I know a little bit. Like I can hold my own, like defensively, kind
Yeah.
of. But like I'll get my ass taken
yeah, I'm
down.
getting taken down.
I
for
can
sure.
get
I'm
up.
not big enough to like.
Yeah, it's
Bro, you see those kids 7 years old, they just walk on the mat and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And if you're the defender's dad, you're like, welp,
yeah.
here goes my pride.
I watch Callan Van Camp just fucking whop everybody. Just
Right. And it's just like, why are we here?
yeah,
Like,
he's
let's just
fucking-
let
he
him
made it
win.
look easy and shit. Like
Meanwhile,
Austin
these
Smith,
dudes are
fucking-
beating the brakes off of each
Bro,
other.
they're
Yeah,
beating the
they
shit out of each other. Turner
I feel
versus
like I've seen that guy
Malkary.
fight before.
Malarkey.
That white guy.
Hey, real quick, I wanna bring it back to you had mentioned how you had kind of not been a trip setter, but you kind of helped some people
Yeah.
open their journey up for that.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, are there things you do in your experiences or like when you're about to trip that like you that helps you like
Like a ritual kind of
yeah
thing.
any specifics or and then like even with helping people out like what's that kind of been like and what do you do to help?
For me, I mean, going up to a trip, I try to like get my shit together as much as possible over the course of like, you know, several days, a week, few weeks, whatever. If it's a bigger trip, I'll, you know, meditate often. I'll eat cleaner. I'll get a little bit better sleep, trying to optimize just how I overall feel mentally and physically. And then going up to the trip, I will, you know, I'll try to set an intention of what exactly I'm looking for in this experience. I'll even say kind of like a joke, kind of like request to the mushrooms and be like,
Right.
you know,
Do this for me.
This is, oh yeah.
No,
I'm saying that's the mushroom.
Yeah,
Do this for me.
yeah,
And I'll just say what I want out of this experience, and you know, regardless, it's gonna give you what you want or
Yeah.
what you need, not what you want necessarily.
yeah, because
And, yeah,
I've had people ask me, you know, and I've only had like a hand, probably amount of fingers I have on one hand. I think amount of times I've tripped on psychedelic mushrooms, but when it comes to telling people that haven't or like want to hear something about it, I've always told them, you know, first off, obviously if you're even if your dog just died yesterday, like don't
think about it.
Don't do it.
yeah,
Like don't do a bunch if something traumatic just happened.
yeah.
If you just got through a breakup and you're just wanting to get fucked up, that's
Yeah.
not a good answer. Like I always try to tell people, if you're taking them, like you said, take them with kind of like an objective based mind of like, you're not taking them because you want to forget something, or you're trying to numb a pain, or you're trying to just party your ass off. Like, you got to take them with like the understanding of this is trying to, kind of show me something.
Yeah.
And that's what I've always tried to tell people when they ask me about it.
Oh yeah, for sure. And that's what basically the message I give people when I'm, trying to help them out is like, even if you set a date and you say, this is what I'm going to do, a large dose, and you get to that day and you're not feeling so great.
Go with your gut.
Yeah. Go with your gut. Don't do it.
Because then your gut's going to get fucked up, dude.
Yeah. It's about doing it at the right time, the right moment, and kind of being a little spontaneous about it if you can.
I love being spontaneous. I have the best experiences. Shut the fuck up, Dylan. You weirdo.
He said, I love being spontaneous.
You didn't let me finish my fucking sentence.
The enthusiasm.
Well, I looked right. I looked right at him.
What are you guys doing, dude?
Shh, we've done a few mushrooms together. Taking them not out of the blue, but knowing that you're in that right mindset, and you're like, "Fuck it, I'm taking some mushrooms tonight."
Yeah.
And then you all play some fucking video
when
games.
we listened to the Kid Cudi album,
We didn't plan that.
it was like, all right, we might just have to do this.
We were like, "Wait a minute, it's about to drop." I somehow just got some shrooms. Your left eye is fucked up.
Eye drops.
No.
It's allergies, unless you have allergy drops.
Yeah, I do.
On your knees.
His eyes are like,
Wake up, bro.
See,
I don't like him.
Yeah, he's definitely.
who do you got, brother,
he
for this
makes me
fight?
angry.
I mean,
He's probably
objectively,
gonna win, but I don't like it.
objectively, I would say Covington definitely has
By decision.
the better arsenal against
All
Masvidal.
around.
Yeah.
But when they're standing up,
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Dude, I don't know. I'm picturing Jorge again, just clocking him out of somewhere.
It would be amazing if he did. I'm not gonna lie. That'd be,
I like
Hey,
that.
you guys want him to get slapped, bro.
pretty satisfying.
You guys want him to get
Not gonna
slapped.
lie here,
So,
because he's gonna be all right.
if I'm not mistaken, we're gonna take a break here soon
Yeah,
before we
I'm
put
gonna
on the
go
main
back.
card,
I'm,
and then we'll come back and watch some of the main fights tonight.
Yeah.
So we
Let's
got
do that shit.
got the Bryce Mitchell. Bryce
Marshall.
Bryce Mitchell fight. I'm excited about that one. So we'll get our opinions on that, and if there's anything else you want to bring up before we take a break,
no, it's been awesome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we
It's
kinda
been
went-
amazing.
all over the place, but you brought up some really good things, man. I'm really happy that we got to conversate about it, man.
No, I appreciate it. I
Oh,
appreciate
you broke
all
that
of you.
shit
yeah, that
down.
was dope.
I loved all of that, dude.
I appreciate that.
I'm gonna listen to this when I take some mushrooms. I'm gonna listen to what you said. Like, I'm gonna just sit down, turn that shit on.
And I'm just here so I don't get fined. I'm bullying.
So what are we're gonna do predictions real quick since we don't have anything else, and then we're gonna take a break.
Can
Right
you
on.
get the list of people? I need that
Yeah.
list on me.
So we're gonna get Jay in here too when we get the fights back on.
I know, Jay. You need to hurry up, boy.
He's out
Is
there
that fight
enjoying
still
weather,
on,
man.
Jalen?
Jalen Turner.
I think
Knockout, KO, TKO.
Yeah, they just ended.
It just
All right.
ended?
Yeah, that
Who won?
the white boy.
He's a who won?
Really?
Yeah, Jamie.
Oh no.
Oh no, he said.
No, he didn't win. Go back. It says fucking Jalen.
Oh.
Win. God damn it. All right,
Well,
let's
you
go all the
pointed
way
to the
down.
other guy.
I know I did. He looks like
Sergey Spivak.
yeah, and Greg
I've
Hardy.
seen him fight before. He's really not that bad at all. His hairline is.
It's just in terrible shape.
It's,
So let's go around the table. Who do you think for Sergey Spivak? Greg Hardy.
Listen,
Spaghetti boy.
I don't know anything about Sergey, but I'm gonna go Sergey.
Okay.
I'm going Greg.
He's going Greg.
I'm going Sergey. I've only seen Greg, and I don't know.
Vince got hit with that.
God damn it.
that
I'm going.
dad.
I'll go Sergey too.
Okay, I'm gonna go Sergey.
So we all got Sergey besides D.
Yep.
Kevin Holland versus Alex Oliveira. So Cowboy Oliveira, right?
Yeah.
That's what they call him.
Okay.
All right, shit, man, that's a good ass fight.
He looks upset.
It's at 72. This is his first fight at 70.
Who, Kevin?
Yeah.
Dropping down from.
I can't go against Oliveira. I'm gonna go Oliveira.
I'm gonna go Kevin Holland.
I'm gonna go Kevin Holland also.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Kevin.
I'm gonna go Kevin Holland.
Oliveira, I think, is like 45 years old now, right?
He looks up there for sure.
He looks like he makes quesadillas on the border.
Yeah, I might
They're
go.
good
I
as
might be
fuck.
wrong,
They're
but go ahead.
delicious.
Go ahead. Goat head.
What?
Did
Huh?
you pick yours?
Yeah.
Oh my bad.
He's a goat head.
What'd you say? Who'd you say?
Kevin Holland.
All right, cool. Next one, Edson Barbossa versus Bryce Mitchell. This is the one I've been.
This is a tough
excited
one. This
for.
one's right on the money.
Edson is.
So what do you got?
I'm gonna go. I want to see Bryce win, but realistically, I really don't think you will.
That man just needs a script at
If we're go-
Walgreens, bro.
if we're
He's been waiting for 45 minutes.
I'm
bro.
gonna go Bryce. I'm gonna go Bryce. He should have camo UFC shorts
He
on
is
tonight.
wearing he's debuting like the first ever pair of
Camos.
UFC
They've never had
shorts.
camo UFC
Venom
shorts.
and who's the other? It's a hunting brand. I forget what it's called. Real Tree? No.
Like Mossy Oak or something like that.
Yeah, one of them.
Something like him.
That's kind of cool. Okay, so you're going Bryce Mitchell.
I'm going Bryce.
I'm
I like
going,
him. I like him.
I'm going Edson Barbossa by a decision.
Okay.
I'm gonna get Edson. Yeah.
I'm gonna say the same thing. I like Bryce Mitchell, but I feel like Edson's
Yeah,
kickboxing and
he's-
striking is just on a
You're
whole
gonna
nother
have to
level.
really get him early.
I don't make good decisions, you guys. so.
But
Goddamn.
Vinny, what you thinking?
I'm gonna go Bryce too. I think
Okay.
he has better grapple.
I'm on the
For
left
sure.
side tonight, I guess. I don't know.
Edson Barboza.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right, co-main event.
Co-main event: Rafael dos Santos,
Yeah.
and Renato. I don't know how to
Moisiano.
Moisiano.
I really don't know much about Renato.
I mean, he's been not in the best of luck in his career. He's gotten finished. You know, he's
Is Rafael
But-
boofed up right now? Is he beefcaked?
he's came up from 145, I believe, right? Or 135. even.
Raphael.
Something. He was in like
He was fighting at 155. He's been fighting at 70.
yeah, that's what's going
So
on.
he's a beefcake, is what you're
Yeah.
saying. Okay, so,
They're
he's
at
So
a
this is a
catchweight.
catch weight. It's
Yeah.
like 160.
I'm not going. I don't like his mustache, and his adrenaline's gonna be bad. I'm going Renato.
He looks like a wannabe Nate.
No, he was-
No, this is a dude filling in on like a couple days' notice. He's got a full camp.
Yeah.
Raphael has a full
Don't
camp.
don't let him. Don't persuade his decisions.
Yeah,
Let
I'm
him
just
choose.
stating facts.
I don't like his mustache. I said that.
I don't either.
Renato.
You don't like the dude.
You got Renato?
Yeah.
I got Raphael by
I'm making
a
all
finish.
the wrong decisions.
I always pick wrong.
Submission finish.
No, knockout.
Okay.
TKO.
All right.
I've never watched Renato, so I'm gonna go with Raphael.
Yeah, I've never watched him either.
Yeah, I'll go Raphael.
Blind
Just because it's short
faith.
notice. It's hard to take fight or win fights on short
You
notice.
don't really know who you're going at. You know what I'm saying? I will go Rafael dos Santos.
So you got the drum roll right there. You,
Because
Logan?
I personally,
What on the sound thing?
Yeah. Do you know which one it is?
Hell no. We can find out.
All right. Well, this is the main event. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, Colby Covington versus.
pussy.
Hold on. Everybody's been calling him George, and I thought it was Jorge.
He calls him George to like be
Make him. It's disrespectful,
Oh.
kind of. You know
Okay, so it is Jorge Masvidal. Okay, so I'm gonna go Masvidal.
okay.
I'm also gonna go Masvidal.
Hey, finally.
I'm gonna go with Masvidal too, but Covington is the
Dirty
tough
dog and
challenge.
dirty little
I
puppy.
didn't think you were. I thought you were gonna go Kobe.
And who are you gonna go, Vince?
I'm gonna go Masvidal.
I'm gonna go. This is
You
it.
wanted to go.
I don't know who to go.
You wanted to go
Fuck.
Kobe, but
Look
now
at
we're
the
all-
look at his.
I know he's locked in. Is there any way I can choose a tie? No contest. No contest.
If a tie happens,
God damn it.
I'll fight them both.
Gotta be honest.
Oh, fuck.
God, I
They
don't
both
know how
knock
to
each
go
other
honest.
out.
God damn it. I'm going honesty. Colby.
Colby. All right, he's going lone wolf out here.
My heart says Masvidal, my mind says Colby.
Right.
It's like, who do you listen to? It's like,
No, this is gonna be clean work. This is gonna be a culinary experience.
A culinary
The
experience.
knife skills are gonna be immaculate.
and then Colby's
Oh, yeah.
gonna be eating.
Jorge's got
punches.
a top hat on. Little Remy's
he's
in there
done
from
so much.
Ratatouille.
Controlling him by the fucking hair.
I saw that.
Street Jesus.
I saw that Usman said that Colby's going to have a hard time taking down Masvidal.
Yeah, because he couldn't even. And Usman's like a top control wrestler, and Colby's like a scrambler. So like, you're not gonna keep him down.
Jorge's
more than
got that
Usman
fast
did.
muscle
so you're gonna have to
fiber.
stand with him, and you're getting knocked.
Fast
out.
twitch,
He's gonna
muscle
get
fiber.
Whatever the
elbow.
fuck it is.
He's going to bed. He's going to bed.
The sheets are ready for Colby.
Night.
Yeah, he's got good, clean linen to lay on.
He's
He's
tucked
gonna
in.
be all
He's
right.
tucked in. All right. So
So
we
we're
got
gonna-
our predictions.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
We're going to take a break, get
I'm gonna be
Jay in.
wrong.
Yeah, this is the end of episode 54,
55.
right? And then we're gonna go into fight night.
All
Okay.
right.
So we're going to release them as separate episodes.
Yep.
Okay. So watch out for 2 episodes. And also keep in mind, this episode was mainly just for you, Derik. And we really appreciate you.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody
Sure.
go listen to Not a Shaman.
For sure, I'm going to have to check
This
it out.
I love this fucking idea already. You said you're 4 deep. I think you're going to be able to just keep expanding. Do you plan on working with other people
Oh, yeah. For
to
sure.
connect with their experiences?
I think right now I just don't have a great setup. I just have an individual mic and I'm kind of on the floor doing it. So
Well, you got a great setup in your mind so far.
Yeah, that's how you
Appreciate it.
start.
You're disciplined and organized. Seem like you're
You just continue to
motivated.
invest in it, and it'll be huge.
all right.
There you go. There's one of them.
Shouts out. You can find it out on. Is this on our page on
Yeah.
our website? So
Mhm.
if you go to our website, I think we have it on there.
Yeah,
And we are very proud to
letting go. That's
shout
episode
him
3.
out. There
Hell
we go.
yeah!
appreciate it, guys.
When we come back, fight night.
Bye.
Yep.
Right?
That was
Is
awesome.
that right?
That
He
was
fucked
awesome.
up 17 times.
Oh, you hate him.